Guns. Oh, yeah? Once they blast the military bases and the infrastructure into dust, and you'll be begging for food when the UN troops roll in. And
let me just point out, Alex, here, I'm not really on board that I really think they're going to bring in UN troops. I think it's counterproductive to their whipping up knee-jerk enthusiasm to get us into the New World Order. I think we'd have outright rebellion if they tried to occupy it. First of all, I think they're going to have enough private military contractor thugs to be able to do whatever people control they need to do.
I mean, I agree with you, but reading the Army documents, I'm sure you've seen these, but if you want them, I'll send them to you. They are training to bring in UN troops. Have you seen the deals they've signed to bring in Mexican and Canadian troops during terror attacks in the U.S.? I mean, they're openly at West Point teaching them that foreign troops are going to operate here.
But we have to remember there's a difference between all the foreign troop training. A lot of that is to get information and military technology spread around to our future enemies and things. But I happen to know from my sources the Russians do not intend to occupy here. The Chinese do not. They don't want to get tangled up with millions of civilians with weapons here on that. But I frankly don't think it's necessary to bring in foreign troops. In fact, it would be counterproductive to convincing Americans to go along with the benevolence of the New World Order if they saw the New World Order.
I mean, I agree they're converting. I mean, they have more troops in Afghanistan and Iraq that are mercenaries than they do regular military.
Right.
Joel, I agree with that. But I'm just saying, in all the training, I mean, it's public that they're saying they want to use NATO/UN to help us during emergencies. So they're certain
to send me some of those because I'd like to analyze that just to see. Let's carry on that for a future discussion, Alex, when I've had a chance to see that. Can we do that?
Absolutely. Let's try to jam in a few final calls. This has really gone quickly here. Let's talk to Paul in Ohio. You're on the air with Joel Skousen. Go ahead. Hey, Paul, you're on the air, buddy. Okay, he's gone. Christopher, California, quick question.
Hey, what's up, Alex? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, cool. I'm excited to talk to Joel. I was glad to hear that he's going to be on the show. I have a quote here from Joel, and I also have a few questions for you. Joel, is it true that you said that I've been in a few of the Council for National Policy meetings, and they're dull, there's never anything sinister going on there, there's no influential government policy being made there, that they're rather dull, and that there's no conspirativity, and that they're not secretive, even though they refuse to release any of their meetings.
All right, we got to go to break, but we'll come back. There's a left-wing CFR-funded conspiracy theory that says some group called the CMP runs everything. And it's a total diversion, but we'll talk about it on the other side.
No one likes foreclosure. You won't say, think, or even consider foreclosure with ZeroDebtGuarantee.com. Why? Because ZeroDebtGuarantee.com guarantees to stop your foreclosure for at least 2 years with no payments, no bankruptcy, and no negotiating. Thinking loan modification? That still keeps you in default. Zero Debt in 90 days is the only proven system that keeps you in your house for as long as you want to stay, while making it possible to even get clear title to your house. No, we are not investors, bankers, attorneys, or real estate agents. We are a group of people just like you that are sick and tired of the housing crash, and we've helped thousands avoid foreclosure since 1993. Please visit our website today, ZeroDebtGuarantee.com, or call to see how we can help save you tens of thousands of dollars and save your home. Call 800-477-9256, 800-477-9256. That's 800-477-9256, or visit ZeroDebtGuarantee.com. Guaranteed to stop foreclosure.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic
is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty Films.
Attention, this is a special alert to all Americans who owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from people who owe back taxes and dramatically lowering amounts owed. Due to the financial crisis in America, the IRS has announced a leniency plan in recognition of consumers' financial troubles in today's economy. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS, an open phone line has been established by American Tax Settlement for you to call and see if you qualify for a reduction by up to 75%. Number to call is 800-902-6969. Again, the IRS is now accepting reduced settlements from consumers who owe back taxes in response to the decline in today's economy. If you are struggling with $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS, you now may be eligible for a dramatic reduction by up to 75% and save thousands of dollars. For free information and to see if you qualify, call the open phone line into American Tax Settlement now. 800-902-6969. 800-902-6969. Again, 800-902-6969.
Big John, Big John. Every morning at the mine you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip.
This is key, what just got brought up, and I'm glad it got brought up by the caller. We're almost out of time. I'm tempted to go into overdrive with Joel Skousen, but I don't know if he can stay with us. I get these emails the last few years, you know, you're part of the CMP. You're part of a secret right-wing group more powerful than the CFR. So I went and researched it and found out the Hunt brothers were involved in stuff, and it looked like a right-wing attempt to get the government back from the globalist, and then it got taken over by the globalist. But then I noticed it was big foundation money, and like Mother Jones and Rolling Stone were promoting it. And that's what the White House regulations are. Cass Sunstein says we've now got the London Independent admitting the government is infiltrating conspiracy culture and posing to then attack real people. You know, I hear Joel laughing during the break when I asked him about this. But here's Joel for 2 hours exposing the Republican takeover of the Patriot movement. And then a caller calls in and says, because I've heard it all, you know, will you tell me about the CMP, and then are you part of it? Joel, tell us about this.
Well, I was part of the original CMP starting. I was there as chairman of the Conservative National Committee, and so I have firsthand information about how it began there. I was working as executive editor of Conservative Digest under Richard Viguerie, working with Howard Phillips who's a real patriot, and frankly, we were making really headway in stopping the compromises the Reagan administration was involved in under the influence of Vice President George Bush. And so the CMP was started, in fact, just like to blunt our movement, just like the Tea Party movement is being blunted today. You had your big-name Republicans move in and start to, like Bob Dole and Newt Gingrich and others came in and tried to basically water down our movement, which was to have a no-compromise strategy in there. And so the CMP became, frankly, a kind of a mimic of what the left was doing. But they had no conspiratorial tendencies except, and that's why they kept these things secret, because they wanted some heavy hitters in there, and they charged a whale of amount of money, $1,000 or $2,000 a year to be a member of the CMP. They did have some secrecy, but it wasn't anything that was conspiratorial in nature. Their basic movement was to co-opt our attempts to put some spine into the Republican Party and their resistance to the compromises of the Reagan administration.
Yeah, but Joel, then there's the spin that the CMP runs the whole world now.
We're sorry, your call did not go through. Will you please...
Joel, you still there? That was weird. Here, let's try to get Joel back on. I ought to have him on. It's a total distraction. It's like we have other guests on who've talked about it, because it's interesting to see how they control the right wing and the left wing. But it's like saying the CFR runs everything when it really does have a lot of power and actually writes a lot of the laws. But they themselves are just errand boys that do it. You know, this interview's been really good with Joel Skousen. Maybe we should go into overdrive, guys. We haven't done that in a while. You guys want to go into overdrive? We ready to do that? let's get Joel back on and see if he can go into overdrive. Joel, your phone got cut out there, or something disconnected you.
Yeah, something happened.
Hey, listen, will you do 20 more minutes with us so we can talk about a few other issues? Or if you're
Sure.
Okay, listen, we're going to go into overdrive, listeners, and that means it'll be internet only. Well, that's actually not true because the network sends out this 4th hour on satellite because I do it occasionally live still. So if you're a station, you'll be able to continue to listen to us, actually. I forgot that when we do overdrive now, it's actually on the birds and on the radio stations. I quit doing 4 hours a day a few months ago just because I'm working on the TV show we're developing and everything else. It was just exhausting me. But occasionally I will do the 4th hour. We'll do part of it right now. Keep listening one place, Infowars.com with Joel Skousen. He'll be able to finish up about the CMP.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
What do you mean I don't believe in God? Talk to him every day. What do you mean I don't support your system? I go to court when I have to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in overdrive into the 4th hour. We are live with Joel Skousen of worldaffairsbrief.com. We'll be able to continue with Christopher, Matt, Kenneth, Jeannie, and Steve. At least those calls. But we are going to end the live transmission, come up in about 30 minutes, and it will go back into rebroadcast. In fact, I'm glad he's staying with us another 30 minutes because I want to get into where he sees the economy going, what he thinks about $1,500 a ounce gold, and some other questions I've got for Joel Skousen. But your line cut out when the fellow, you were trying to finish your answer, and I brought the question out about this conservative group that was trying to keep the Republican Party conservative, kind of like the Tea Party growing out of Ron Paul is today. And I know a lot of good people were in there early on, but then it became more of an establishment deal. But I've seen globalist publications try to claim that the CMP is really like the CFR.
Yeah, absolutely not true. It started out with some real Goldwater-type Republicans trying to be more conservative than Reagan, but it quickly got, as I say, infiltrated by the establishment Republicans because these people had money. And anybody who's got money and can project their point of view, that the establishment's really worried. So they got that infiltrated and they stopped that. It's become